Good old boys.
Mark,
Bog beef.
you already got a snootful tonight, huh, buddy?
Yeah, man. This one's the last episode went really well, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Patreon looking fat, huh? You notice that?
Yeah, my bank account definitely noticed it. It's rough times out here for the plebs.
Yeah, well, you're gonna earn it here today, by the way. I haven't sent you any outline or anything.
Our last easy day was yesterday.
Follow my lead. This is gonna be like gay salsa dancing. Can you drink the cork?
Are we still talking about the gay salsa dancing?
Yeah.
Always swallow it.
I went to school. A lot of people from South Florida. One of my fraternity brothers was a Latin guy, right? Mm-hmm. When you said Latin guy in the 90s, that's what you meant. He'd wear these loose-flowing buttoned-ups. He could wiggle his hips.
Hot-blooded.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This is the only guy I've ever seen that could, get women in bed because he could dance good. He was a decent-looking guy, but, it wasn't like Tom Cruise, hey, what's up, He could do it just because he's dancing. This is college, you're in a fraternity, and so there's a lot of downtime. You're just sitting around drinking and talking shit. You got to teach me this. I was like this is bullshit, right? So this is how shit is portrayed, in...
Yeah, Ricardo Montalban.
There's a magic trick you do, and then you walk up to the girl, you do the thing, and then, oh, there goes her pants, right? That's bullshit. Well, it wasn't for him. It really was. The reason why I brought that up is because I asked him for dance. So he's like, we can do that, but it's going to be gay. You got to do it. You know what I mean? I was like, well, sure. When in Rome. Yeah, it's a very gender role kind of thing. Guy does this, the girl does this. You want to know both. You want to know both sides of it. So, anyways, one day we were sitting around drinking beers, and I was like, "This isn't something I would ask after Sunday service. It's a weird environment. You're in college, people drinking. So there was a girl there, and I asked her one time. She was buzzing off him, and he had slept with her. I said, so this is obviously bullshit, right? You can't just do a trick, and the woman wants to sleep with you, right? So I said, you slept with him. You slept with this guy because he could dance. You saw him dance, and you said, walk me through this. Explain this. What's going on in your brain? And she looked at me, and she's like, are you fucking stupid? I was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, if you see someone dance, you can pretty much suss out what they fuck like. I'm like, yeah, touche. Not bad. This is the PG-13 episode. I can't listen to podcasts because then I get paranoid and I'm like, I don't want to say things other podcast people are doing. So I just don't listen to them, and then I just act defensive and aggressive when people say I've said the same thing other people are saying. So I didn't listen to it, but two nice girls that Red Scare, they talk about this grooming subject. Everyone's talking about this grooming subject. Everyone loves this. Yeah, well,
there's been a couple ways it's popped up in the last few weeks. There was the first one where someone accused a man, the woman was 19 or something, and the man was, I guess, in his 30s, and they called it grooming, something like that. That was the first time that it came up. Is this?
We're just going to accept the definition for every way that's presented in official sources right now.
Okay.
Right? So
every time a 30-year-old woman gets mad when a guy dates a younger woman?
That's grooming. It's all grooming.
Yeah, it's the same situation for me. It's like a financial grooming when a guy who's richer than me is able to pull in ass.
We're the astronauts. I have a 45 at the back of your head. I'm just saying, you're looking back at Earth. I'm telling you, it's all grooming.
It always has been.
So I was thinking about this shit because this topic is juicy. We might get canceled for this, but it'd be worth it because this shit is hilarious. Some of it's hilarious.
No one who listens to this show is going to cancel you for saying whatever you're about to say.
You don't think none of your exes got a MP3 player? Let that go. Okay, so the people we know and stuff. The first time I think we heard this grooming accusation was that guy. This was I guess you were on Twitter at that time. I wasn't. I really don't know very much about this guy. So you're gonna have to tell me about it. Everyone in our peer group got the pump primed with this fellow Sam Chris. Yes.
Grooming? I don't know about that. He was accused of.
From what I understand, retrospectively, that is grooming.
Wow, really?
For the purposes of this, yes.
Okay, sure.
Well, okay, so I'm not saying that he was a groomer, but just go with me here. We can leave that word alone, and you'll see where I'm headed. Like I said, just
Sure. I trust you. I'm letting you lead.
yeah, just take another swig of this Amyl poppers, and we'll get right through this.
Don't your parents listen to this podcast, by the way?
No one listens to this podcast. I can't do this podcast if we act like anyone listens to it. It's never going to happen. Okay, so I don't know if I said his name. So that was Sam Criss. I don't know who Sam Criss is. I've never read anything. I heard he wrote stuff. So who is Sam Criss?
Well, he's like Nick Land. He's the Nick Land of the left. He's like a really good writer. He wrote for Jacobin magazine, The Baffler, and shit like that. But like, he had bylines in The Guardian and Atlantic and stuff. He wasn't just a rando. He was somebody who's like an up and comer, I guess.
That's
Yeah, it's big leagues.
you can kind of top out at Guardian and Atlantic.
Well, hell yeah, yeah.
If you muck around with politics stuff and you can turn a phrase, you're going to be in demand. People love
Yeah,
that.
he's like they still, man. We're in DMs with people who still love him and read his blog.
Okay, so and then don't go into details. What's the broad strokes of the allegations against him? Like how many and the severity.
It's been a minute, but basically what happened was he was going out with this woman, and I guess he tried to kiss her and grabbed her ass or something, and I guess she didn't like that, and she told him to get lost. And I mean, he didn't like force her to do stuff, but I guess he was a little too Pepe Le Pew around her. Mm-hmm. According to him, like they'd been fucking for a while, so it's like hey, I just thought none of it seemed like a very big deal. It seemed kind of like one party was not happy about how things turned out in retrospect, maybe.
Okay, well, hold that.
Right.
Hold that. Now I'm going to start you out with a definition of grooming. Well, I'm walking into this definition, so I don't know about this. I'm just accept this definition. So no one's explained it to me, but from what I've seen, and so there's the Sam Criss story. So that's going to be important. So we're going to contrast that with another story. With another story that just happened, and I don't think anyone listening to this has heard the story. From what I understand, what they mean, there's a thing that happens, and it's like, imagine you're 19 years old. You're a young lady. You're very attractive. That's right. You're okay. Get in that mindset. You've just headed out to college, or
is this what they call sissification?
So you just start a new career or college or something. You're in a new environment, or you just in a new job. You've written an article or two. You're in a new scene. The scene is always important in these stories. By the way, it's never just like at large society. It's the community steps in. One of the ways I'm going to steel man the scene here. So you're in this thing. So people from this community, you're just getting started. You're getting into the politics stuff in New York City, right? So some cool people from the politics world and the young politics. What is the loft thing?
Verso Loft.
So a bunch of people so you just moved to New York City from Kansas. A bunch of people from the Verso Loft say, hey, we're going out to the cabaret tonight. We want to see if you want to swing by. And you're like, oh shit, well that's something else. I'll go. Hell yeah, I'm gonna get to meet some people that I've read about. And so you go there, and you're the new kid. A lot of people interested in you. There's a lot of things going on, and you're there to see the big people in the scene. This is always commented on, is the hierarchy in these scenes.
Right.
No matter how petty or large. And there's a hierarchy that's going on. Women are very tuned into the pecking order.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
You're out there, you're at this trendy club, and you're new there, and you don't have very much power in their sense. Bar staff comes up to you and comes at the table and says, "Hey, big shot in the scene, one of the big dogs, over at that table, he wanted to send you glasses. He wanted to send you guys a bottle of champagne." You're like, "Oh wow, this is something else." And this sounds crazy, right? Because so this would be like what was the comedian guy, red haired guy that was beaten off in front of chicks?
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. Right. So you're this young comedian. Louis C.K. sent a bottle of Dom Perignon over your table. You're like, holy shit, that is fucking Louis C.K. I saw it on my TV. And then he wants to come over to your table, and you're like, wow, this is like, I need to really be on my game. This guy knows people. He could open some doors for me. And the next thing, and you're kind of overpowered by this guy's pull in the community.
I'm sorry. You remember that old TV show Password, like way back when?
I think I saw it on game show.
The setup is where one person has to you have to get them to say the word, and you got to give them clues. We gotta we gotta have you play that game and just describe things to people and try to get them to figure out what the fuck you're talking about. That redhead comedian who jerked off. That's what you go to. I'm sorry. Continue.
My brain, like, I don't know if you noticed, but my brain contains no names, no proper nouns, no countries, capitals, nothing. It's just
no, but it's an incredible descriptive power.
Yeah,
it's great. Sorry. Continue.
There's just things being acted upon others. Swig here. Okay, so you're there. This is, you could see this happening, right?
Sure. Hypothetically, yes.
You've got a podcast going on. You've talked to people that have bigger podcasts than you, didn't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
If they said my name, they could give me a pop.
Yeah, sure.
Watch what I say around here. You've done that. You've been around some people with some big podcasts. And well, what if one of those people, what if she took her top off? Wait, sorry. Wait, this is supposed to be a bad thing happening. Sorry.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah, gotta calm down here. Getting riled up. Okay, so but you get the idea. So this really fits in the Louis C.K. thing. But I think this is you're gonna see the same kind of things mentioned over and over again. There's a scene. There's always a scene. They always say their community. They always reference the hierarchy. I'm new. I'm young on the hierarchy. A big dog comes in. It's usually a male, late 20s, early 30s, or more if it's something really big, comedy or whatever. And you're overpowered. You see this aura. And then he's on top of you, right?
Okay.
I don't know if it ever came out or whatever. Was this person that was this like a cocktail waitress? Was this like a jeweler's assistant, a hairstylist, or was this someone involved in the same kind of business that
I don't know. It was a person who's involved in like leftist politics. So I mean,
right. So we're in the community. We're in the community, right? Yeah,
of course.
Right. Okay. So that's super important. Got a lot of pull. He's on top of you, and you prefer it not. And so that's the scene. I think that's what they're saying. Grooming. I don't think that's a terribly unlikely scenario.
No, but that's not grooming.
We could discuss if it's criminal or not. We can discuss if it's grooming. The problem is here. We need to just set sail with the whole, like, what used to mean grooming was the thing where it was a pedophile thing, right?
It's when you're an adult and you have a relationship with a child, and the point of the relationship is you're trying to encourage that child to have sex with you. That's grooming.
Right. So we're far away from that. So I think they're invoking the...
Yeah, they're doing what they always do, which is they take a word that has like a strong meaning and like it's very powerful, and they inject new shit into it, and that makes it so it could mean that, or it could mean you gave a hand job to your boss and you felt bad about it later.
Mm-hmm.
This is like what they do with everything. This is their MO.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of these guys that get accused of stuff that are not super intelligent.
Sure. I mean, Sam Chris is... even hardly want to bring him up because, like, it seems to me like what he got really accused of was like date rape, but he didn't actually. Nobody really accused him of actual rape. I don't think it was just like he groped a woman he was going out with, and she didn't like it.
Look, so we're comparing this
Right.
situation that I haven't brought up yet. So you have no way of knowing that. By the way, I want to slide this in here. You were talking about, a lot of this is very language lawyery stuff.
Yes.
I was going through the deep cuts. I'm a connoisseur of cancellations. I'm addicted to this shit. I love these. There was one today. There was a gamer guy. It doesn't matter who he is. So this is his apology letter. The first tweet that came up in it. Talking about the loose language. Not always on the accuser. Sometimes with the accused. Listen to this. I'm sorry to all my fans who have let down. I did engage in inappropriate acts with teenage women.
Wait, does he mean that he was like
There you go. Yeah, what a fucking moron, right? This isn't who I want to be, and although I've made many strides, blah, blah, blah. Wait, teenage women? Like, okay.
Were you in the locker room looking at 13-year-old girls, or were you DMing an 18-year-old saying that you wanted to see her boobs? Because that's a very important distinction with which one's which.
Right. Were you kidnapping middle schoolers, or did you score with a Lakers girl? Like, this goes a lot of different directions, bro.
This is one of the reasons why you should never apologize for anything. Because like this is much worse. Well, I don't know that, but like I assume if he did the bad part, he'd be under arrest.
Well, it's a later tweet. He says, "I want to clarify to everyone that I have not sent news to any girl below 18."
What? So why are you apologizing?
I have not inappropriate acts with teenage women. That's you need to work. Get a new publicist, bro.
You know, like the surface level reaction you see a lot is like that. Well, actually, 18, 19-year women, they're adults and consenting. This shouldn't be an issue. And like, yeah, that's true. But that's not even the thing you should focus on. It's that. I'm gonna need you to stop doing that. It's that there's pretty much no way that anyone can have relationships under these circumstances, because if you can't imagine if you can never ask out a woman like more than 3 years younger than you. I'm just saying.
Well, does that work the other way? Because there is going to be a point where Fran Drescher is like on my same level, like in terms of sexual market value. It's not going to be long.
No, no. Of course, it doesn't work both ways.
Okay. Well, anyways.
I mean, do we want the stern dad explanation for this, or is that too heavy?
Okay, so let's start. Start the story here. Okay, so there was another cancellation that happened, and this is interesting. So we talked about Sam Chris. So Sam Chris is a big name, right? So there's probably heads of state that have like ideas of his that have crossed their plate.
I don't know about that, but sure, he's
people. Barack Obama it probably reads the Atlantic.
All right, sure. Let's just go with that.
It's not a nobody.
I didn't. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sure.
Okay. So now let's talk about another level of person. Okay. So we're gonna talk about this other fella. Okay. So this guy. This is our Pert B. I'm not gonna mention his name. You know, this is not like I have researched this story and you know, if you're listening to this and the things I've said, you should know how much faith you put into that. But there's a couple mega posts on Reddit, and by the way, so this is small. So there's 26 comments on the big thread where they go out. Well, there's more. There's several threads. Okay, so this guy's a YouTuber. He's a gamer. You don't want to do any gamer content. I haven't played any video games in a long time either. But you're might change your mind when you hear this story. This is something else. So this guy, like, you know, there's this thing where you're like a pro gamer, but you don't really play games professionally. You just play games on camera and shit.
Like people just watch you to having fun watching you play games. You're not competing with people.
Right. So there's like people who compete with people with jerseys on.
Right.
Then there's like speed runners who like they play games to a time or something. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So there's still a competitive aspect. And there's people who just play games, but they focus on a game or whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure. There's like a little Asian guy who makes videos teaching you how to play the NBA basketball game.
Right. Well, think about how many people play that NBA basketball game.
Oh hell yeah!
A lot of guys in the NBA play that game.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't that game. So this guy is not there. So this guy plays the game. Assuming this game came out. This guy plays a game that came out in 2003 for the Game Boy.
All right.
Remember the Game Boy?
Yeah, I had one when I was a kid.
Yeah, you in the back of the mom's Caprice, the hot sun on your neck, and you're playing this little piece of shit.
Playing
It's
Tetris.
got like, yeah, it's got like okay, so he plays the Game Boy game. It's 2020.
Okay.
There's a community for the Game Boy game.
Sure.
The Game Boy game is called, but it's not Pokemon or John Madden football, right? But it's 20 years old Game Boy game, so it's not a big community. Is the point? Okay, not a big community in the gaming world, but this is part of the deal. It's Jesus Christ, we got to get out of this politics shit, dude.
How much was he making?
His Social Blade rated him at $85K a year.
God damn it!
And this guy's a fucking nobody. He's a nobody. And like his personality is awful. I watched some of those videos, and like he's just terrible personality. This is a total no. Like I don't know if you've seen this from the speed running things. Like there's a community for like every game that's ever came out. If no one's playing a certain game, then like you can just start like you could play like a Barbie game for the Nintendo, and you're the guy for that game.
Yeah, you could be like own the world record for beating Avoid the Noid or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, right. So like Jesus Christ, man. No, there's nobody in politics.
All right, what do you get canceled for? Come on.
Okay, so before the show, I sent you some pictures of one of the ladies that came forward.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, now you're fucked up, right? Because
yeah.
Do you think the woman that canceled Sam Chris is like in the same stratosphere as that woman?
I doubt it.
No. So, okay, first of all...
Are you telling me that this guy's getting women who look like that, sending him like pictures
Yes.
Pictures of her bared breasts?
Guess how many women came forward?
I don't know. I'm upset now. A baker's dozen.
13 women.
Well, I got it exactly. Hell yeah.
13. I don't want to talk about politics again.
I mean, like I said,
Over half of them were these fucking lingerie models, dude. I sent before, without context, I sent Merrick some pictures before we started the show, and this is one of these. So apparently, in this gamer community, people go to these conventions and stuff, right? Right, and so like all the women.
Wait, he fucked these women in real life.
Oh yeah.
What was their accusation?
This is a wonderful tale, dude. You're gonna love it. So okay, so first off, so that was, so you saw that woman. That woman is basically a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. She was gorgeous.
Yes.
Just the biggest sorry.
Yeah, we know. We continue.
She was yeah.
Look, half of our listeners are Catholic married women, half of them are gay men.
Right.
We don't need to dwell too much on this.
She was very slim in the waist. She had a very heavy chest.
Yeah.
Right. Very right. So okay. So she makes a lot of money as one of these. There's a cosplay model.
Jesus Christ.
So they satisfy these gamers' fantasies by dressing up like Chun-Li and the princess from Mario and stuff. Right.
Stop teasing us. Let's hear it. What did he do?
Right. right. So she's one of them. Like 4 of them are these models. This shit. Okay, this guy, he looks like a Mr. Potato Head.
God damn it.
He's like 320 pounds.
Oh no!
Yes.
No!
Yes. He's got the worst personality you've ever heard.
He's Movie Bob.
Yeah, like he's basically that tier.
What did he do to these women?
I'm telling you, dude, this is the last episode we talk about Nancy Pelosi and the fucking left wing and right wing.
Come on, what happened?
It's over. We gotta.
What happened?
I'm calling my mom, tell her to send me that Game Boy. Okay, so that's just one, right? So, anyways, there's a mega post. There's 13 women that came forward.
Jesus Christ.
So these stories vary in intensity. Some of them, and 13 stories came forward. They're all very moving. And I want to start out with one story. Just to we're gonna take a little. We're gonna sidestep here a little second. Read you one of the and by the way, so you know Sam Chris
alleged. All these things are alleged. We're not saying they happen. We're just repeating what other people have accused people of. Please understand that. Don't sue us.
I'm wasted. That cost Sam Chris's career, basically. Yes,
I think so. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
he's not writing no more.
He's not writing for the Guardian. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So this guy, same thing. So his YouTube channel is still up, but he ghosted. He said he's not going to make any more videos, and he ghosted from Twitter. And
all right, what did he do? What did he do?
Okay, so first off, we're gonna you're gonna have to chill on that. So we're gonna start out with one of the stories. I thought this was special. So this is one. At first, John and I started chatting normally as friends on Skype. This is years ago, around 2016. At first, it was all very normal, and after a short while, he also asked me to send him some quote-unquote sexy selfie. I felt very scared about it, but I still sent him some. he was insistent on how he didn't have any bad intentions. In those conversations, he would call me babe, even though I told him several times that I didn't like it. You ever notice that line comes up in a lot of these? I have no idea what they're talking about. That doesn't track. Like, I don't know what they mean. Okay, now in those conversations, he'd call me babe, even though I told him several times I didn't like it. As he's furiously masturbating to your naked photos that you've sent him. But in those conversations, he'd call me babe, even though I told him several times I didn't like it. Now that I'm older, I can see they never fully respected me as a person.
I'm so sorry. How old was she at the time this happened?
Hang on. As a person or as a friend.
I want to know how old she was before I laughed at this.
At the time, I was very naive and easy to manipulate because I was around 19 years old.
Oh my God.
Now, I don't have any proof of it. Skype deletes private messages after so many years. So I spoke about it to some friends way back, asking them if it would be all right to send him some nude photos. I was really naive. And some of them do remember, and we're trying to find those messages, but we haven't found them yet. Overall, I wanted to point out that he's got the same... Now, you listen to this. This is important. Overall, I wanted to point out that he's got the same modus operandi. I had to look that up. I wanted to point out he's got the same modus operandi all the time. First. He's
got the same MO with beautiful 19-year-old girls who are dumb enough to send in naked photos.
First.
Yeah, me too. I was sorry, continue.
First, asking the girls to send him nude photos, and then escalating things sexually from there. Thankfully, not too long after, I cut ties with him and haven't kept up with his stuff since. Now that I'm seeing that I lucked out, while some other girls haven't.
So other ones he slept with, apparently.
Yeah. The ones with the gigantic knockers.
Okay. So I want to ask you a personal question here. And so I don't ask... Like, we DM with people, and sometimes they're women. I don't ask them for naked photos, and I'm wondering now if that's a mistake. Because apparently there's must be a sizable portion of the population where you could just say, hey... How about you show me this? Let
me send you a picture of him.
We should just put like the graphic for this episode should be him with like black bars over the eyes.
Well, that kind of ruins it. Okay, so
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
okay, so there's a picture of him.
Are you fucking serious?
This guy's like a 2 out of a 10. Yeah,
All right.
overweight, bald. Yeah. So there's 13 stories. We can't go through all of them. So a couple of one of the girls flew, one of the beauty models flew him out to Rio de Janeiro. They went to a tropical resort. He banged the bejesus out of her, and then she caught him texting with another girl.
Is this guy just super charming or something?
No, they say that I mean, this is the least charming personality you've ever seen. I mean, I watched some of his videos. I mean, I was like, I wanted to kill the guy after like horrible. Like, just he does not have a gift for gab. He's very uncharismatic. I think the thing is this is what happens. So there's a lot of this shit in the game, like the game community, is that like around like 2016, like all the websites were set up so you could like upload HD videos. Like no one knew how to do it. No one knew how to do it, and like your camera, like a phone from that time, like wasn't good enough. So like the one guy who would do it became somebody. And so he was this time where he got all this where he was active back in 2016.
He was an early adopter.
Yes. I read some of this to some lady friends of the show. They said that all of this was buyer's remorse.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
What else can you say? I mean, this might be a naive question, like, are women in the cosplay, whatever community, are they all like really low self-esteem, troubled people?
I don't know.
Do you think that this guy could DM like the average politics Twitter woman and get her to?
Thank you for rescuing the episode. That's what we were supposed to go.
Just saying how we've been leaving money on the table.
These guys are just riding an escalator out to the promised land. These guys like Sam Chris are trying to squeeze from a stone here. Getting $50 a hot take, getting these washed up hoes ending their careers and shit. Like we gotta get out of politics. Gotta get out of politics. This is gonna be a gamer show from now on. I don't know any games, but we're gonna learn some fucking games.
Hey, I play NBA 2K. You know.
Yeah.
We can make this.
There's no women that play NBA games, bro. And
shit, that's right.
By the way, so all these women, they dress up like the characters in the games. Chick come up to your room at the Circus dressed like Manute Bol.
Only God can judge me.
Right. So there's a shit ton of these confessions. What's surprising is like at least half the confession. One of the big confessions that really got him. One of these models. One of these
Yes.
beautiful models. She went to bed with him, and he made his move when he was there in his boxers, his dick flopping around. It's 2:00 in the morning. He's had a couple of drinks. She agreed to go to bed with it. They I guess they only got the king size. They were at one of these conventions. She was totally cool with going to sharing a bed with this gentleman. He put his arm on her, and she freaked out, and then cussed him out for texting other women. And the other women thing comes up in a lot of these conversations. It seems like a lot of girls still are into him. There's a campaign right now as we're speaking. This is like hot off the wire. This is not important because I haven't named the guy or anything, but there's other girls are trying to uncancel him right now. They're like, we need our boy back.
I don't understand this.
Usually
I can understand. I can understand why if you're a hot shot writer or whatever that, I don't understand this. This is confusing to me.
Part of the show, I had a problem sending you these nude photos of these women before the start of the show because they're all locked their account now because they're having the counterattack from his other bitches. 2 of them have approved me during the course of this show.
I'm glad that we're setting the record straight. This is good research for you.
Yeah. Did you ever see Tifa from Final Fantasy VII?
I've never played any of the Final Fantasy games.
She's got like the suspenders on, but not like the top, and it's something to see. Anyway, back on track. So as a result of all this, I feel real sorry for Sam Chris. I don't know the guy, but Jesus, man. If I get canceled, please let it not just be one girl. Please. If I do something to you at a what did politics people don't leave the house, so this doesn't really track.
Yeah, inappropriate on a Zoom call.
Yeah. So, if I do something inappropriate, like, I don't care, 12 other women, like, you can come forward against me, please, because I need at least, I want like 2 dozen to come forward against me. I don't want to go down by just one. That's a bad look, man.
Well, the the thing about it being buyer's remorse is probably true, and like if I want to be a downer about it, like this is inevitable. It can't go any other way. Like, this is one of the reasons why there used to have very strong restrictions about who you got naked with, right? To make sure that you didn't end up in a bed with a big fat Yoshi's Island speed runner, and then feel really bad about yourself later on. Like you're supposed to make the person jump through a lot of hoops to get you to take your clothes off, so you know that you vet the person, right?
Yeah.
This is the old model, right?
Yeah, you can see this happening. Like, I remember, so one of these things, if you're in a small town, if you're in a small town where, like, half the people go to college, and so you get a bad ratio, you get a bad gender ratio. Now I was back home, dude, I was fucking nothing. I was nobody. I couldn't buy a piece of companionship. Then, like, I leave town, go to college. College is like 55-45 in my favor ratio. I'm somebody, right? So then I went to work at a place where there was no other men working there. Now I'm Tom Cruise. I could call my shots. I think that's how you get this shit. That's how you end up with a 350-pound Game Boy streamer on top of you.
Well, hold up now. Like, I'm sure the gamer community is different, right? Like, isn't it all men?
No,
Shouldn't she have
no, not at all. Not at all. It's by the game, but no, not
Okay.
at all. Not at all.
So these video game conventions they go to has a bunch of women dressed up, like a bunch of hot girls dressed up like video game characters now. Is that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, okay. I have seen pictures from like Comic-Con where there's, I just assumed that this was nothing but nerds, but like, is that not how it works now?
Right. So these conventions things. So we know. So there were conventions in the '80s for these war games and stuff, and it was 99% men. I had a teacher one time that went to anime conventions, and I was like in the middle school or something, and it was strange, but that's kind of how it went. Like
I went to it's a computer hardware convention when I was in middle school because my dad's friend was an engineer, and it was like nothing but like old, it was a big sausage festival. There wasn't like no women there.
Mm-hmm. It would be like 1 to 10. It's like on a Navy ship. There's a couple stragglers, but this all started to change. Like now, it's totally different. These conventions now are just sort of like conventions for like it's the kind of thing. Remember, this is a phenomenon we've seen in other places. Remember in the '90s, like I don't know if you like the last scene I remember. There were kids in my town that they all wore Adidas pants, they all wore wife beaters, and they all listened to Korn and bands like Korn, and they all hung out together.
Sure.
And they went to concerts. There were like 3 or 4 local bands that played music like Korn. And there was this. Remember, there was the goth kids. There was punk kids. Mm-hmm. This ended, and like there just became like scene consumed all of it. There was no more subcultures. There was just sort of like subculture. This is the same thing with conventions. So, like, I don't know if have you seen my brother's big into comic, and since he was a kid, and like I went with him to a comic convention when I was like 12 or 13, and it was all men. It was all guys. Like I got my comic signed by the guy who made Spawn.
Todd McFarlane, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You remember, like the Mallrats movie? They joke about it. They talk about, no one wants to fuck you. Read comics. So now Comic-Con, it's like Marvel Comics is broad thing, and so now like they don't, even if there's like a quote unquote anime convention, it's Harry Potter, it's video games, it's all this stuff, and it seems like I don't really understand it, but the ratio is not 1 to 10 anymore. It might be 4 to 6 or something like that. But there's a lot of women there.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's bullshit.
Yeah, you know, I hate to say this on air. I still really can't accept women like playing video games. It's strange.
They don't really, right?
So I understand. So like, I don't really play video games anymore. I'm too old. I have a job and stuff. But I understand it as a male vice completely. It's one of our. It's a vice. You can turn on a game and you get lost in it. It's very hard to see women doing that. But I think that's the thing. The nature of games have changed. We know, like, you've seen, there's that farming game.
Yeah. Thoughton plays that.
Yeah. It's not like a thing where you stay up to 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? It's like playing. It's like solitaire. You know, the 90s. You remember solitaire in the 90s? I'm sure women played solitaire in the 90s.
You know, Dre and I played that. You can play a multiplayer, and we played that with her one time. And like, you have like, it's like a farm, and like there's all these people. You have like 3 different people, right? And like, she instantly bought like sheep and cows to pet and stuff, and immediately we went into the mines and started digging coal and like killing goblins with a sword. It was you could really feel the gender role was kicking in.
Returning to tradition.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, it's a different world. I guess the thing is, like, when we still say video games, we think of these things where, like, close out the world for 8 hours at a time. Now video games means, like, remember when Bejeweled came out?
Oh, yeah.
Women were playing Bejeweled. They were playing that shit.
Mobile games, women love that shit. Still. I mean, men might too, I don't know.
Homosexual, man. Which thank you. It's all of our Patreon. So, how you doing, fellas? I don't know. Do we have any more business to put this?
About this? No, absolutely not. Other than I'm jealous of this guy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's canceled.
Those women were gorgeous, weren't they? Yeah, so this is the message. We need to leave people with an ethical message.
Shoot your shot for one thing.
Yeah, get on that Twitch.
I'm immediately when we start recording, I'm immediately going to DM every woman I talk to and ask her for sexy photos. Just start calling them babe.
You notice a lot of the other podcasts they have Twitch streams now. Huh? We were talking shit about that before.
Well,
not talking shit about that anymore. We need to get on there.
Throw it over to some Pac-Man speedrunners and try to draft off of their success.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had you read that book on Carl Schmitt.
Yeah, it's absolutely useless.
That's going in the dumpster.
I was gonna say something about like things that happen in the Pacific Northwest, but I don't care anymore. So fuck it.